Are you looking for ideas for using those stacks of 6x6 patterned paper pads you've collected over the years? Hi, I'm Jess, paper crafter of over 20 years and creator of paper busting templates that help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I have a 6x6 paper busting template for Slimline cards. So it shows you how to take one piece of 6x6 patterned paper and turn it into Slimline cards with no scraps. I am going to be making 3 Slimline cards with one sheet of 6x6 patterned paper today. This paper busting template is available in my Etsy shop in a pack of 10 ideas for using 6x6 paper on Slimline cards, and I'll show you a couple of the other designs that will come in that same pack. So these are the finished cards, but you would get the templates, and it's a PDF download. Then you can also just follow along with the instructions because they'll be really clear, and in this particular one the measurements are quite simple, so I will walk you through them step by step. I'm using the Bees and Butterflies 6x6 paper collection from Paper Rose, and I will be using the embossed die cuts that coordinate with it. And I picked a paper that at first might seem a little bit challenging, but I think that we can make it work for this sketch that calls for these long strips of patterned paper. When using tools like paper trimmers, please follow all manufacturer's safety instructions. So each card is going to need 3 pieces. A piece that is 1 by 6 inches, a piece that's 1 by 4 inches, and a piece that's 1 by 2 inches. However, I am not going to cut them like it's shown here today. I'm going to cut the 3 1 by 6 inch pieces out of the left side of this patterned paper because it looks like to me the left side is a little bit more full, and I'd like to take advantage of that so that my longer pieces have a good amount of this. Now, this is also a double-sided paper, and I will likely be taking advantage of that today. I do in general like double-sided papers because they give you some options to work with, but this paper busting template could be created with single-sided paper as well. So we are going to just cut this 6 by 6 inch paper into 1 by 6 inch strips, and I like to measure backwards on my paper trimmer, so instead of measuring to 1 inch each time, I start at that full 6 inches, and then I start decreasing it by 1 inch every time to 5, 4, 3, 2, and finally 1 inch. And then what I would recommend for particularly this sketch is to pick which ones are your favorite for those long 1 by 6 inch pieces. And at first I thought this paper was going to be pretty non-directional because it looked like the butterflies were kind of going in a variety of directions, but some of them feel less that way than others. Some of them, like this one, it feels like the butterflies are mostly upside down. I mean, they are mostly upside down. So that might be something to keep in mind with this sketch where, say, you know, this little gap here towards the bottom is going to be more prominent because there's a little bit of covering of each of the sections. But either way, I would like my butterflies to be most of the patterned paper, or here, this one, like it's not as it's maybe a little bit less butterflies than, say, this patterned paper. However, because they're more towards the bottom, maybe that's a better fit. So just kind of thinking about which papers you like best for that longer piece before you start cutting into the rest of them for what you need for the other 2 pieces. And the other 2 pieces are 1 by 4 inch and 1 by 2 inch. So I am going to cut 2 inches off the top out of this mostly yellow paper, because then I think I could do a layer like that as my overall card, and I kind of like the way that looks, but perhaps you'd like another piece with butterflies, and so you'll want to cut your 2 inches off the bottom. Now, of course, you'd be working with a totally different paper, but just kind of these are the things that you want to keep in mind. Like here, for instance, if I cut the 2 inches off, I'm going to be left with a piece that has a tiny bit of butterfly. I might or might not want that. So these are different things that I would consider. So again, I'm going to choose to have a solid yellow piece as available to work for my last card. And then I will be ready to start cutting the mats. The mats that I need for this card are going to be 1/4 inch bigger on all sides. So for my 1 by 6 inch piece, I'm going to need 1 1/4 by 6 1/4, my 1 by 4, 1 1/4 by 4 1/4, and my 1 by 2, 1¼ by 2¼ Again, very simple measurements. And here I have a piece that's already 8½ because I'm starting with my scraps first. So I'm gonna cut my 1¼ inch piece off of one of the sides, and I'll be left with a piece that's 1¼ by 8½. This will make those 4¼ pieces without scraps. So I always like to see, is there anything I can do in terms of that. When continuing to cut my mats, I didn't have any other cardstock that was like perfectly sized for any of them, but I was able to create my 3 1¼ by 4¼ 3 1¼ by 6¼ and 3 1¼ by 2¼ inch mats from scraps of brown cardstock. If you're left with particularly small scraps, something that I sometimes like to do, like particularly with a piece like this, I might make some fake foam tape where I cut it in half and glue it together. These are also pretty small scraps, so another one where I might just use that to glue it together and then prop it up, so maybe some of my die cuts later on in the video. I have attached all of my patterned paper to the cardstock mats that I have cut for them, and I am ready to start assembling it on the card according to the sketch. Now, there is a little bit of flexibility within the sketch, particularly if you're working with non-directional patterned paper. Like I said earlier, this paper sort of has some directionality, like certain pieces look more directional than others once you cut it, although the whole overall piece, at first it wasn't obvious to me that there was only one clear direction. But the back of the paper was non-directional. The butterflies are kind of going in all different directions. And so I showed you, like in the sketch, how to do it with the most common directional patterned paper that's out there so that you are most likely to be successful. But you can always take the sketches and turn them on their side, or, you know, like slightly different orientations to rearrange the pieces as you like. So for instance, I could have the cards like this, or I could choose to turn one where the directionality made sense on its side and just get a slightly different look. I kind of just have to choose one for the sketch example, but there is some flexibility. Let's take a look at how we might embellish the cards. So I had the coordinating embossed die cuts, and they're kind of like a punch out. So there are like little spots where they're attached to the background. I do tend to like pop those out and then trim them up a little bit as needed. And you want to maybe be careful, and you might even prefer to just come in with your scissor to begin with. If there's a little bit of room there, just create a smoother line between the cuts. But with the embossed shine detail, I think that it can be worth it, even though it has a little bit of that extra work of trimming that up. And then with the embellishments, there was quite a few of these butterflies, so I pulled some of those out of that pack, and then I used this hello sentiment from scrapbook.com with a more like, I kind of consider this paper to be more on the elegant side. I think the butterflies being a little bit more like photorealistic. I wanted to do something scripty because I like that look, like elegant cards with scripty sentiments as opposed to like blocky sentiments. So I have hello, hi friend, and this one can be layered up 3 times, but I'm just gonna choose to layer it up twice. I used the same brown cardstock that I used for my mats, and then I found a scrap of yellow that was pretty similar to the patterned paper. And what I wanna do is have the butterflies look like they're interacting with the sentiment. So whether I choose to do that orientation or the other one, I want it to look like this butterfly whose wings are back, and therefore they've landed and they're resting, is my understanding, that he's kind of like sitting on the hello. Or then here with this butterfly who could be flying, his wings are open, then I want to give it like kind of a bit of an angle for some interest, and I would want to layer the hello on top and kind of like tie those 2 elements together, particularly these ones that are sort of out here not touching the patterned paper. I want them to be touching as opposed to kind of just like floating unrelated to each other. I like the idea of them interacting personally. And so that is how I will attach those to the final cards. In the end, I wound up with 3 elegant but incredibly simple cards, especially due to those die cuts, from 1 piece of 6x6 pattern paper and no pattern paper scraps. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.